Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I'm Francis Zienso right here from the Diaspora Informative News Network. Yes, Fatima Tata, another wonderful day. Thank you for being here. Take you to neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire this evening. We are here. That's the meaning of this song. And in the interest of African solidarity, we are here. Welcome, Mr. Bala, in the house. Kiantawia, good evening. Welcome, Brasilia, to just marching in this beautiful Friday evening. We are here, so says the songwriter. Essie, who coming from the suburb of Providence, Viria, is in the house. Good evening, my dear sister. A happy birthday to our senior analyst, Koto Jala Balayant. Alan, she's in Liberia on the transition team. My last name. When the boys are calling our own need to know, when you were going to taste out. Regina G, good evening to welcome the Sudanese. I told you guys I'm a traditionalist. I believe in the tradition. And we are taking it into neighboring La Cote d'Ivoire here this evening. Remember, we bought us with Cote d'Ivoire, right? Well, you see like that, and the guy missing his own town too now. Just do the favors, just hit the share button to invite someone to the company right here, right now, on the Diaspora Informative News Magazine, Liberia Public Radio. The godfather of Nima County coming in from the shell. The news coming from the station with our manager. Oh, man. Mr. Peter Goba, good evening to welcome Alexis. Good evening to welcome Ishmael Dukle. Welcome in the house of LPR. And see who mashing in. Linda Corner. Somebody gotta give me Christmas, belated Christmas, New Year, or Lisa William will give that. If I get a new Christmas song belated, I will go on strike. Oh man, what a beautiful song right here this evening. And the godfather of Nima County is coming out from the share, not holding back. By the way, if you don't understand this one here, let's give the interpretation to we are here, and we are here strong. Liberia will be strong again, no matter what is happening, and all of the tragedies, system must be put in place. Our prayer center goes out to the bereaved, the country, the president, and the president-elect who want to keep it proportional right here on the informative news outlet. Okay, good evening, good evening. We want to thank all of our viewers and listeners across the globe. I am your host, and Alfonso Zane. And very shortly, the panel is going to be here this evening. And as usual, we're going to be having a conversation right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. This is LPR-TV live with the panelists. And the panelists are going to be here and we're going to have this conversation right here. Right now, that's LPR TV Live with the panelists, and we're going to be having a conversation here very shortly. Thank you so much for joining us here, no matter where you are this evening. We say good that you are here, and good to have you here. You will definitely be part of today's conversations. Let's get the ball rolling right here to right now. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm not from Texas, but I love the way the Texans dress. The liberal thinks he's the only person who can wear his commissioner hat. I am wearing mine on a cardboard from Dallas, Texas, from next to the range of George the Butchers. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. As usual, I'm Alfonso Zane. So right here on the wheel, here with today's edition of LPR TV Live with the analyst, we'll say happy belated happy Christmas. So we never had a chance to talk to you. We say happy belated Christmas. We are gradually triumphantly moving towards 2024. My goodness. Yeah, today was another sort of day because too much is ongoing. About 5 years ago, my senior brother, it was just about the same time got his death news. 5 years ago. It's unbelievable. May his soul rest in peace. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us, Venetia. It's good to be here. James, Best, Christ, all of you guys who said we are so happy. Without you, there's no way that we can be here. So ultimately, because of you, we are here. And there's no way we have made a commitment not to leave no one behind in the national conversations of the Republic of Liberia, keeping it fair, balanced, and proportional, not being judgmental in our argument. And we hope not to be judgmental, but give people the opportunity to explain themselves and have a conversation that is all about. We don't necessarily see it your way on this network. That's the distinctions, that's the fine line that we have tried, and we will continue to establish. We do have folks, analysts, political commentators on this network that pick their choice, their political choice, which is okay. And this is good because you do not want to leave your audience in doubt and begin to make a guess game. Who is she? Who is he? What is she talking? What is he talking? Not compelling them, but we want to create an honesty. You're seeing the liberal progressive here dancing every night, every evening. He made his choice, and I think he want his talking didn't go in vain. So, by the way, he's a strong supporter of Ambassador Jose Newman Boyka, the president-elect of the Republic of Liberia. In the next coming days, weeks, he will be making some consequential decisions for the good of the country, and so we all are watching to see what it is. But the success of the incoming president is contingent upon all of us. All of us. The tendency of people electing people and then walk back, we see these things happening in the community, and it does happen in the national front. Because some will be arguing, I was one of those who get him to be where he is. So the thing, all of the entitlement going to be within their corridor. And so if they don't call them in the first 4, 5, 6 months, oh, they will start turning red and pink. He's ungrateful. He's this. But that's not the case. That's not the case because the president made it crystal clear. There is no green, there is no red Liberia. So we are watching to see how the country is going to be unified. The country is heavily, heavily divided. Nothing we can sugarcoat of that. It is glaring when you're watching programs, even tweets, the interactions in different chat rooms. Some people still not getting over it, and that is okay. Let them get it out of their chest. It is dangerous to have people to withhold information if you don't know their intention. That is the most dangerous part. But as long as saying it, they will be okay. They will be fine. It's not easy. So imaginations, hallucinations, all of the things you're thinking about, it's like the whole world crumble on you. That's how it looks like because people were very optimistic. This is in our columns. We already have it on our belt. But the electors have their own unique way of making decisions or to punish politicians. So it is what it is. These brothers and these sisters will get along. Don't get mad with them. The resentment will be there, but gradually, right now it's still is in a denial stage, right? But when the hand is raised tomorrow, I do solemnly swear to uphold, protect the constitutions of the Republic of Liberia, and then to bring that to Bible, the Chief Justice to administer that oath. Then it gets serious now. Welcome to the show. I'm Alfonso Zienso, to the Liberia Public Radio. And this is LPR-TV Live with the panelists. They will be here very shortly, and we're going to be having this sort of conversation. And there's some people freaking out now. Maybe he will come with a green hat tonight. I know him. Very jealous old man. You're going to find something I think to wear. Okay, folks, we want to welcome you. Thank you so much for being here. It's always good to have you. All what we are doing is for the good of the country. And please, you have your voice. You have the right to agree and disagree with us. All we just require on this network is civility. You don't have to agree with my talking point. Absolutely, you don't have to agree with my talking point. I too do not have to agree. We must just be honest in our conversations with respect to our country. Don't talk it because you want to talk it or you think it should be your way. No. We are talking about a diverse society. How many tribes now? How many countries? Just think about it. How many different culture, society, different groups. So dealing with people of such a diverse society, it is obvious that we would not be in one accord. That is 100% guarantee. The good thing about me being here, not the liberal who ultimately go to sanction voices. If you don't say his way, he give you 1 second to talk. But once you start to blow that trumpet of his liberalism, you can talk and say whatever you want to say. Yet he professes and claims to be liberal. Liberal, they believes in people expressing their views, but he's not one of those. So he has managed to massively recruit people, right, to indoctrinate them. We will be here to put him in check as well, because that's what we're supposed to do. Interestingly, we ourselves will be held accountable. If you believe in it today, it's okay. If for any reason it turns 366 degrees, come back with courage and admit. And this is what our politicians, they don't. They are very much defiant. They are unapologetic. You will never see them for whatever reasons, unlike the Westerners. They are bold. You will see them, the quick to surrender. Someone in the call press conference, wave, whoever stand by their side and say, we are sorry. How many of our folks, politicians, that have the courage to say we are sorry for wrong decision? And I hope this time around, everybody will be held accountable. Because the president-elect has set that standard. Say there will be no friendship, there was no family. He already set that fine line, and we are waiting to see it being perfected into action. Saying it and have it implemented, that's another thing. But we're going to give room for all of those things to happen. We're going to give it a time. If you talk to people in that country, what is happening, it is amazing and just unbelievable. So I feel not to impose our will on other folks. It is time for us to start having real international conversation. We have no idea what he's going to meet his administration. So for those of you that are on edge with the hope that as soon as he's inducted the next day, glory going to come down, it's not going to happen. It's just not possible. He's not a magician. And even magicians, sometimes they got to go and do all their little stuff. These people got to work. They got to go out there to the outside world. And I'm a little glad that little baby steps started already. I'm waiting to see, we are hearing something, but we're waiting to see until it comes from the house's mouth. The inaugural to see what will be released or some of the promises by donors and friendly governments. That's what I've been hoping, and that's what we all should be hoping. The country is, for whatever reason, it's just bad off. There's no other way to put it. I don't know how. I don't know what people were thinking about, as if there was no tomorrow. And you run the national government as if you are in the Sabibo land. Complete breakdown of a system. And people just felt it was okay. And even some of the people who supported the administration, they were still didn't do him good. They were defiant. Everything was okay. A couple of people that I talked to today that work in the government. It's amazing some of the things that are coming out of them. But I also said a very good guy, close friend who was in hierarchy as well, schoolmates and everything. You knew it and you stayed there. So you are part of the problem. Don't come bleach your hand as if you are some sort of a holy person. It's because there's no backup. It's not like here. I'm waiting to see in this next republic where partisans even be a lawmaker. They will challenge some decisions of the party if those decisions or those policies are not in the interest of the Liberian people. I wanted to see that happening for people to stand up. This is sort of democracy that we want. Everything can just be yes. You've got to disagree. Even the president that you support, if there's some other issue, you see here. And I like how Prince Johnson did today. He made his position crystal clear. Okay, the Minnesota politicians who is being trained by the liberal to always come and set the ball is here. And trust me, as a surface in the twinkle of an eye, the liberal will come. They think they will overrun this network with their moja and these liberal ideologies. That's not going to happen. They believe in people to apportion what you work for so highly, you should just ration it out to people. That is doctrine, the liberal. That's not going to happen. We were given the opportunity to explore those things, but we will also come back to exposing. Let me bring in our senior political commentator, who is a strong supporter of Ambassador to Joseph Newman White Guy, President-elect of the Republic of Liberia. Terry Collins is based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let's get a ball rolling here. There you see him. Hey, my son. Hey. Mr. Collins, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So. How are you, sir?
I'm good. The liberal and the liberal came with a commissioner hat. So and I
Yeah,
come with
that
my
one I'm looking at.
I come with my own butches.
You're looking sharp tonight.
Yeah, I'm always sure. Wait a minute. You see, you. Yeah, Terry,
Man,
you.
that one I lie. You always sharp. That one I'm gonna give it to
So
you, baby. You
I
you you
who even
you got
you
your
are my
swag.
body. You are my body for whatever reason. Now you cut off ties and you become a
Mr.
good.
So, no, you can't do me like that. I've been your body for a long time.
Yeah, you
Pato just
that is
coming in.
something to
Forget
them
what I
that he
think.
just coming in. I don't know why you so much into his business. I'm telling you, this guy will dump you in the middle of a Red Sea, and there will be no one there. There will be no one
No
to
one
rescue
there to
you.
help
And when
me.
you call me, they will say call Samson to in California, and he will never pick up his phone. Trust me on that. I know this. I know that labor there for good. Okay, good. Happy Friday. Good to have you yet. How you doing today? How are the family and how everybody?
Yeah, man. We having a enjoyable time in Minnesota weather. We thought that it was going to be snowing and cold, but Minnesota up to now we can't see no snow. So
Yeah,
I
this is
think we decided to send it to you there to see how you will handle it.
no send it to your patron. And with that one here. No, this is quite amazing though, and it's a clear indication of this how you call it a global warming thing. The east here, East Coast here as well. No snow on the ground. I mean, it's
Yeah,
unbelievable. But
it's shocking,
I
very
think
shocking.
that's okay. Okay, we're gonna hit the open mic conversation today. But one of the things, the political Goliath of Nima County came out of the share today. It's your me. Why other name why you call him? Yellow, whatever.
Yellow bay.
Yellow bit. The guy is interesting. I saw him live, and that was years
Okay.
back
Hmm.
during the heat of the civil crisis. after the president was captured, we were the very first group that moved on the economic base, right, Freeport, yeah. Specifically, I was located where they have the Guinean contingent. They had the Guinean, and they had the Ghanaians, the LPMC warehouse. That's I saw the guy like, yeah, man. Those when you see that man there, you just want the ground to open. You know what? Ground open. Let me just let me just go inside. My goodness. Yeah, but
That guy was
I
fearful.
think today his conference today was he was not combative, he was not confrontational,
Right.
and I think he took his time. I could say of LIB-TV. Oh my goodness, I said it. I said it. Once you see Terry surface, he will surface. See, I will always treat him nicely. He always do all his running around from Toll Town to Z Town to Grand Gita and then come back before he will usher in. I will never do that. I'm hoping that he will learn that from me. In the interest of fairness, we are going to start the conversation and we're going to end it at the same time so that he will have a say. Let me bring in the most liberal on this network. And it is not strange because it's based in the liberal state of California, next to Nancy Pelosi, who retired from the leadership but still is there. Let's say he read out like an innocent child now. You see him, nothing guaranteed. The liberal progressive.
Mr. So, good evening. I want to welcome all of the viewers, especially some friends that they're watching up. P. Gate is watching us right from your backyard in Providence. Good evening, Mr. Gate. And I want to thank you, Mr. So, for bringing the liberal in. Nothing is guaranteed in terms of kumbaya. There's no kumbaya here. It's Friday evening. Let's take it easy with the liberal because your patron, if he comes out here tonight and starts swinging, it's gonna be a long night for both of you.
Okay, well, I'm used to you now, so there's nothing that you can say to move me. Okay, guys, good evening. It's good to have you here, and to all our viewers, our listeners across the globe, wherever you are, we say thank you for being here. We appreciate. Feel free. I'm gonna put my line up here. It's not gonna be this guy who streamline phone calls to see who is for him, who is not for him. I am not that type. I am more of a person for the country. He for a specific segment for that. He's kind of like he uses cutting edge to tell people which way to go, how to speak, when to speak, how to speak it. That's not what a society requires. Terry, is that true?
Yeah, actually, the liberal guy has own style of how he runs his
Here we
program.
go. Style.
You know.
So now,
Yeah.
I mean, he has his own way. I'm trying to impose my way. Terry become the fixer now for the. You have become the fixer for the liberal. Yeah, that's why. You see, he's feeling good. This guy, he wants for people to praise him. You know, this sort of Donald Trump way of doing stuff.
You know, the two of you guys have two different styles of how you run your show, and that one make it unique. So you see, and one of the things you see, a lot of people comes to the to your show, to Mr. Soul show, because of the way you run your show. The labor to have his own people who come simultaneously because of the way he runs the show.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Who is the best?
Me.
Wow, that's a difficult
I'm
question.
not asking you. Terry is the presiding officer. Who is the best? Joshua from all category.
But Mr. Soul, you the journalist. How you ask that kind of question? You the journalist.
You're not answering my question.
You
Terry,
the guy who
you don't want to get out of feedback. You want to get out of feedback. You want to get out of feedback.
Labor is an engineer. When you want to discuss engineering, you know, road construction and all that, I will give it up to the labor. You the journalist. There is no way I can put two of you in a ring on broadcasting and give it to labor. You know that one will not work.
Liberal, do you agree with your patron?
No.
Well, you on your own. Okay, guys, good evening. Let's have a conversation. Good to have you here. What today is what 29? How many days to the inaugural? It's the 22nd, right?
Yeah, the 22nd.
Moneymaker is watching us as well. I said, good evening, Moneymaker. Thanks for turning into
We got over, I think over almost 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. I want to, in time like this, the ambassadors and folks around the president-elect, there are a lot of intense conversations ongoing. Look, we don't know yet for sure, but it is glaring to see the challenges out there, a lot to do, and all of us do have a shared responsibilities in making sure it works well for the country because Liberal will want quick fix, but we are unwilling to also make this sort of sacrifice. You have this thing here and you know it's not supposed to be there, and government wants to remove it, and we frown on the government. Or that what you want to do now, and you know it's not supposed to happen. See what is happening here. So I hope there will be some progressive changes that people will not like it, people will frown on it, but eventually they will cope with it. But interestingly, the nomination of President George Weah, Musa Ding, Councilor Frank Musa Ding, another wing, another side is commending the president. So, and that's the beauty of democracy, and that's how the society too can be, okay. But I want us to listen to the press conference here, courtesy of LRB-TV. They were one of those among other networks that carried a live interview today of Senator Prince Judy Johnson of Nima County, senior senator, the godfather, the guy, the preacher man, and everything. I want us to listen to A here, and I know you guys have listened already. Obviously, all of you are news freaks like myself, and then we can have a conversation right here to see who really making the point here. Let's roll the tip, courtesy of LRB-TV online network in Liberia.
I want to sincerely invite you here at the home and premises of Senator Johnson. Today is a major press conference. Senator Johnson will be discussing some of the trending national issues. Subsequently, he will discuss among them the recent appointment by the president of Musa Ding, the Justice Minister, and the nominee designate as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. Senator Johnson, welcome to the Liberian media.
Okay. Good morning to all of you, members of the press. I call you here this morning because of important issues that bother me. And I think also it bothers the nation. People have been talking on talk shows about recent appointments or nominations made by Mr. President George Weah. While it is true he has a constitutional power, a right to do or to make nominations, I think it's untimely. The man he wants to replace, Associate Justice Joseph Nangwe, who is now well, and is currently in Ghana. He's been there pretty close to a year. He did not see a fit to replace him ever since. But decided to do it now since the man has written and he can any longer make it. And he wants to retire. I think this is why he's made a nomination. But Mr. Weah did come out with an executive order putting a moratorium on nominations, appointments, and other government activities. That everything should come to a standstill in this transition period. While that is most welcome, because that's the same thing in 2017 Ellen did. But she did it much earlier. That at this time, when the transition was put together, the CDC government continue to make more employment in all sectors of government, preparing for confusion in the future so that when the new government comes to power after inauguration, and they saw that the payroll is overpacked, many thousand people have been added, that there is a need to have a reduction. Then they will come on and say, oh, the man is witch hunting. You see, he put our people down. That is the kind of situation this CDC-led government is preparing for. However, he had nominated Musa Dane to be a social justice. Musa Dane is my good friend. We normally communicate. He called me out, I think yesterday, on my phone. You can see. He said to me, you know, my name has been nominated for this high post, and I need your support. And I said to him, Mr. Dean, there are discussions going on among senators. There are discussions going on among librarians. And what we all are discussing, let me tell you some of it. First, I'm not in support of your nomination. I said, let me ask you something. Who is the chief security officer of the Republic of Liberia? He paused. I said, is you right? He said, yes. I said, okay, as the chief security officer of the Republic, once upon a time you came to the Senate, you were invited for something else. But I took the occasion to ask you about Gifted Lama, a co-worker on Broad Street, who were found dead in the car. I said to you, Mr. Dean, you are the security chief of the Republic. Do you really believe? I said, look at me, among my colleagues, the senators. Do you really believe that Gifted Lama, a married woman, a devout Christian, her workmate, who also married, left his wife home, Gifted left her husband home, they were called by someone who seemed to be from the office, from their office, LRA office, to bring their computer to review some documents. Do you believe that they were found sexy in the car? For carbon monoxide, please lower your phone. For carbon monoxide to kill them, according to you and Mr. Weir and others. Since that time, there have been no investigative document. Nothing has been said about those people. It's done. Do you believe? You did not answer me when you appeared before the Senate. So I'm asking you again. Do you believe that Gifted Lama and her co-worker were having sex in the car? That's one. Two, what happened to Yosua? What happened to Ines? What happened to Princess Copper, who was found dead, bleeding in Fawaz compound near Delhi Junction? What have you said about them, Mr. Chief of Security? Just a minister.
We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. This is the Diaspora Informative News Magazine. LPR. Legendary Amos George from Atlanta is in the house. Good evening to Mr. George. Good to have you here. People were praying, people were fasting, they were chanting, they turned to Buddhists. They turned to Buddhists that, oh, Amos George is not coming today. Amos George will not be here because whatever reason. There are some people here who really, for whatever reason, it looks like you are torn in the flesh. But let's let that go. It always like that. To our listeners, we say good evening. Welcome, sister. Good evening. Good to have you here. Okay. This is one of the conferences that I've sent with Senator Prince Johnson, where he's very organized. The posture, the body language, took his own time asking critical questions because he wants to make his case. The one or two, three questions that I listened to were asked. He's not the kind of Prince Johnson that I know. He was not combative, and which means he was trying to make his genuine case. But now he's took the bull by the horns, putting Musa Din on edge. This is a difficult one because the questions he was asking, those are legitimate questions, and hundreds of Liberians in and out, family members still seeking uh, those answers. Guys, let's have this conversations. Ilola, the cat or the dog is being strangulated already, you know. And one of the smart thing when the guy asked, he said, "No, I'm just only saying my positions." It left with them with their own conscience and what the people want us to do. I mean, this is one of the defining moment. This guy, the idea he allows the media and he was kind of like having that engagement. That was a good salary, but you can rely on that. Anything can happen with him. Nothing is guaranteed. Trust me. So, okay, let's have this here. Tara, let me just bring you in here. At the same time, if you listen to, if you listen to front page caption tool, a transparency and accountability group extol President Weah for nominating Councillor Frank Musa Dane as Associate Justice. Let me see here the name of this group here. Liminta, Liberia Media Initiative for Transparency and Accountability. Now, I like to see this sort of thing happen. This is how the democratic society, all of us, everybody can be in the same basket as the liberal he wants all of us to be in the same basket. There are some people got to be outside of that basket, and then we can make the case, and those who are the decider, they will decide. With Prince Johnson coming out here, Terry blowing this sort of horn right now ahead of this. And even so, he said, just keep it in the room there, let just sit down there, put it, I don't know whether that lay away or whatever he's saying, but let it just be there until the inauguration. Obvious it is, but he also was very much honest to say, well, that he's the president, and that's true. That's the president constitutional right. But he doubled down the president because he said there was a moratorium. There will be nothing be moving. Yes, the constitution. You see, these politicians, they always closes the door back on themselves, like as if they not want to get out. But let me just bring you in here. Do you think with this sort of wound that Prince Johnson have opened and shut it back to the folks in Parliament? Because we just going to be talking here. The decision ultimately going to be with them. What is he setting? What is the stage is he setting?
Well, I think Prince Johnson, everybody know now what side Prince Johnson on. Whether if that is going to intimidate the other guys that are going out. That is the thing, because the guys that are going out don't really care. They all care about what they will get, and Abache is already wounded, even though he's not going out, but he wounded already, sanction is on him. So, but I still doubt that the House of Senate will really confirm Musa Deen. Because there are several reasons why I doubt that they would, even though many Liberians think in their mind that they are going to actually do that, especially the outgoing senators. But I doubt that they are really going to do it, because I doubt most of them. I know some of them will, but I doubt that most of them will obviously confirm Musa Deen. And I believe several reasons why. Some of them who support the CDC feel disenchanted with that nomination by the president, because there's an uproar already in the CDC with the Jefferson Koji factor. In fact, most of the young citizens do not like the idea that what his name Musa Deen is going there. But my question is to them is, if not Musa Deen, then who? Because in as much as I don't support Musa Deen going there, but looking from the side of the CDC, President, what kind of nomination? Your man Jefferson Koji on sanction. Everybody on sanction. What kind of Who you think the mayor will look at to put there? If you want to nominate somebody with the qualification and the credentials from the party, who else you think he's going to put there? And besides, they always say Musa Dean did that. Musa Dean cover up most of your shady deeds for 6 years. Musa Dean work with you. All the things that he could have highlighted, he could have exposed from you, he did not. All the things.
Yeah, so in your words, do you see there as a political favor on the part of the president rewarding Musa Dean for, in your term, in your word, that cover up for the president or the administration? Is that, you see that as a political give back?
I don't want to say a political give back because of reward, because president, we are intent to get something out of it. So it's not free. He's not doing it like I will favor the guy, you know. He's doing it because he got an intent.
The liberal knows the answer.
Yeah.
The liberal knows the answer. Let me bring in the liberal. The liberal, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So.
So I'm wondering, yes, let's see whether we can profile the orbit of the president as to how he came with this here. I thought maybe he was going to throw like a acid water within the opposition incoming administration. Maybe go within the rank and file of the coming folks or the other Liberty Party and go there. They have some great folks there and make those sort of nominations and see how they want to scramble over it. But that did not happen. See those questions, real-time, legitimate questions that we all ask here, and every Liberian wanted to know what happens, these investigations, who been apprehended, who is the principal suspects, and all of that. Sometimes we see it come out and then it goes away. Prince Johnson is resurrecting this point, which is a legitimate argument. What is he presenting to the Liberian people here?
Thank you. So from my perspective, if Prince Johnson's argument would be that this man should not be confirmed because he has not done investigation of the, according to him, the mysterious death of most of the auditors, then I think he's barking on the wrong tree, because they're not trying to. They didn't nominate him to be chief justice. I mean, chief. How do you call it? Justice minister. They're nominating him as chief justice. I mean, associate justice of the Republic of Liberia, where you have other members sitting on there. If one other thing I noticed also, and I will say this: if Prince Johnson got to hold this over his head, then Prince Johnson is a dubious on in terms of legislation understanding. Then I think his understanding as being a legislature, as being a senator, perhaps he does not understand, or maybe there's no rules that perhaps he can apply to hold or delay the nomination process of Musa Dean. Because Musa Dean being nominated, if he's accepted and confirmed, he's going to be associate justice. And if any case comes to the judiciary themselves, the chief justice and the justice, I'm sure they have rules that will allow you to participate. If for some reason your name is involved in anything or some other cases that have been before you, but many of these people have served in different capacities in our society. So if you feel or the rule will not allow you to be part of it, you can recuse yourself. So I think if Mr. Johnson, and believe me, if he have something in the Senate rule that perhaps he can use to stop this, he would have done it. But because there's nothing, and if it is, and he doesn't understand it, he's now going through this process of bringing out the death of these fine Liberians. Those are things that the executive can pick up later. Crime, especially death, there's no statute of limitation as far as I'm concerned in terms of murder, in terms of crime that are so heinous. There's no statute of limitation on those. So those things can be picked up later by the incoming government. Prince doesn't need to use that to say you're now qualified. Prince Johnson is the one vote. So if Councillor Dean has enough vote, there's nothing anybody can do. Now, having said all of that, Mr. So, what I do believe is that President we are, by this nomination, does not have any kinds of good intent in terms of reconciling Liberia and Liberians. He knows very well this election, Liberians are completely divided just based on the vote themselves. So by nominating someone, even though constitutionally you have the right, but to show some reason for unification among your people, you will say, you know what, I don't have much time left. Let the next person do that nomination. That is the sign. He already did it with the conceding the election. He should have gone farther more and go step some more. But I think the agitation that's been happening behind the scene in the CDC hierarchy is now showing itself, manifesting itself through President Weah in this action. So I think it's completely not in the interest of unification. Let's put it that way.
Okay, quickly before I go to Amos George, Senator Johnson deployed the war untimely. Do you agree with me on that?
That's what I say. He doesn't. If he used those type of languages, then I would suspect that he has no understanding of the rule of the Senate, if there's such rule, because there's nothing in the Constitution that would bar somebody because his appointment or his nomination is untimely. What is the timely? What is it? There's anything in the Constitution that says timely or not timely? It's not.
I thought you argued that point here a couple of days ago.
No, Mr. So, see, this is what you do. This is what you do. My argument, and I just argued a few minutes ago, because it is constitutional, does not mean that it's in the interest of peace and reconciliation in Liberia. And his action, President Weah's action, does not boast well in terms of reconciling the Liberian people, because he knew very well we have an election where Liberian is completely split. There's a division among us. So this type of appointment, as far as I'm concerned, does not boast well for the reunification process that President Weah talks about.
That's your own views. You are not expressing my views. Let me go to Amos George. Amos George, I see you spinning here. The Liberal is ready to derail this train again here tonight. Let me just bring you in. You listen to Prince Johnson here. Where do you have any disagreement or dispositions with his argument?
No, I don't have a disagreement with him. Let me say it first. Again, my heart go to the people of Bunkan, especially to the town, and to our brother Sisi. I think his wife lost her uncle.
Or in a Bon County, Sonny?
No. I think he was sick, not from Bon County.
When that happened today?
Yeah, he posted it today in the chat room.
Oh, yes. Today I've been kind of crazy. I'll get to him later.
Yeah, sympathy to go out to the family.
Yes, my sympathy to the family, man.
Yeah.
Same here, Sisi. I think I already expressed my sympathy on the page.
But let me say this, a liberal, he will continue to be a liberal. What our Senate, the way it is structured, is not like the Senate in America or in other Western countries. That is, you can take an issue the president wants and say, look, I will not vote for this until this happens. Like maybe if you go for, there's a senator for Alabama. All the promotion that Biden wanted, he heard it that he would not agree to it until, because the president said that they should give some promotion in the army. And that may have been holding on to that appointment for more than that, no promotion, I think for more than 6 or 9 months. A fellow Republican had to go to him and talk to him just recently before when they defend Alpha, it was passed. It's not like that in the Liberian Senate. It's all with numbers. So what Prince Johnson is doing there, how can you say he wants to use the death of the people? He's right. What has been Musa Din's position on these critical issues?
Right.
Musa Din is the Minister of Justice, the Republic of Liberia. He's the only minister that can disagree with a person on issues. The only minister. that cannot be fired for that. He can fire, but he can disagree with the president on issues, on legal issues. What have been Musa Dain's position on all the cases? Odell Sherman. The list go on. Musa Dain has been absent practically on this issue. So when Princeton is in there, he's reminding Liberians. This man that want to go to the court that can decide that whether you live or die tomorrow. This man wants to go there. Besides God, only the court, the Supreme Court can say, hey, tomorrow we won't see you. You'll be gone. So this man is going there. So President is asking Liberians and his colleagues, look at this man's past record. What has been his thinking? What people call jurisprudence? What his law writing? How do he think? How does he think? Do you know that? No. I don't know how Musa Dain think because he has not showcased that he wrote about to make judgment that he can say, oh, Musa Dain think this way, maybe this guy is a liberal, or this guy is a hardliner. Nobody knows. This man had almost said 6 years. All the government contracts honor George Weah, Musa Dain signature to it. The Iboma Day, which was a 41. The Western cluster that they signed, they left the instrument that should have been used. They went and signed a memorandum of understanding. Musa Dain was signature to that. Waiving 10 or 14 million now government revenue, like money, without no concern from the legislature. Musa Dain was signature to those deeds. So you can see this man way of thinking to that of the man that nominated him. There's a problem there. If something told, don't see it that way, but there's a problem. So what Prince Johnson is doing there?
Deliberate to you, please, not Samson Tor. Deliberate.
What Prince Johnson is doing is trying to put his police against the Liberian people. Because that's why he say, for me, this is my position, but those people are there. And here's the thing there. Most of the guys think they're going away so they can do anything. But those who remain there, I want to tell them, 2026, they'll be going for re-election.
Is that a message from Prince Johnson?
Yeah, that's why I tell you. That's why you see, put it with Liberian people.
No, I mean you. I mean you.
Oh, yes. That's why I'm talking. Because the people who there now, 6 said who are sent 3 years, 6 said they'll be going for election. So if you think you're there for 9 years and you're going to take a decision that is not within the interest of the Liberian people, we'll be waiting for you 6 years to come. You will be gone. So the issue here is what Prince Johnson made, he was quite correct. Musa Dain is a call for the administration. Musa Dain should be a witness for an investigation. Let him testify, let him tell the Liberian people how did he arrive at some of the decisions took legally.
So, okay.
It should be.
Okay. I know you called it. Okay, let me bring, I think Terry started first here. Am I audible, guys?
You are very clear, Mr.
And the guy wrote a letter, TJ today.
Yeah, I've never completed that. You want to share that in the group? Yeah, TJ and all of them, they all, I don't know. That's a different thing. TJ and they are all the same people. He just seeking some sort of accommodation. He's on his way
Of
out.
course.
You don't fear no force. So they all want to try to hang on the old man and all of that. So that's a liberal, for instance. So liberal, Pat George did mention you call you out publicly again tonight, which is common in our nightly conversation here for whatever reason, and you also good at doing that. Now the question here now, what happens? What could be the fear, in as much it is in the committee room? And how about you? Because you see these things happening today, I'm telling you, something is working behind the camera. You can see it, I can see it. Prince Johnson is hoping and praying that it stays there until after the inauguration. We don't know right after the New Year. We don't know the first week what's going to happen. They're going to bring it on the floor, and perhaps vote will be put into play.
They got 10 days.
Yeah. So so they still have a little time there. What
Mhm.
happens if that comes on the floor? Liberals, you were called out here with Imam George. What is he missing?
Well, Mr. George is not missing anything. The only thing I can say to him is that the 1% is trying to be relevant in these type of Liberian conversation, which we will continue to remind him that their voice, why we Mr. Saw, the liberal is on the floor. Their voice, why we say yes, you have the right to speak, but you have to speak from a position of strength. And Mr. George is not speaking in a position of strength. He is speaking in a position of weakness, 1%. I'm just giving it to you today. So for him to come here and try to lecture me on, even though I'm not a lawyer, but I know what I'm talking about. Mr. Soul, the Constitution clearly states that any justice, if found to be in being collude or being in any kind of error or face something that is not legal, that person can be impeached. So, the Constitution is there, giving us all of the tools. So, turn out to come and argue that, in fact, the man has not done anything in the past to deal with the mysterious death, which we all frown on. Is that why the man will not be accepted? If that is your argument, you go and make that on the Senate floor. If this is your argument you have, you go and make that to say, I'm going to deny him the confirmation. But I tell you what, if you're going to say that, don't bring in the Constitution, because the Constitution does not back you. Mr. Josh, the liberal, is on the floor. The Constitution will not back you, and those of you that are speaking from a position of weakness, give us the opportunity. Those of us that are speaking from a position of strength, we will continue to remind you guys that in this new Liberia, we allow you to speak. You have the right to speak, but just understand your position as well. So the liberal is not wrong. And Mr. George, please, on this platform, it's the liberal. It's not Samson Toe. Please.
Let me just say to you, I did not say that the president don't have the constitutional mandate. I didn't mention that. I didn't say that. I said it yesterday that the president has we said it 2 days ago. It is the personal right to nominate. The Constitution gave him that. But we're talking about people character. It's not about the education, we're talking about your character. And that forms part of your character. When you were there, how did you address the issue?
Okay, so then let's have a conversation. Let me bring in Terry here. This is our views, our opinions. We will get to know the details when the time comes here. Let me ask you, Terry, do you think there was wrong things done on the part of Musa Ding as the chief prosecutor of the country, Attorney General? Do you think was there any wrong thing that was done on his watch?
I would not say wrong by law, but wrong in sense of not being able to adequately bring many cases to a closure to the satisfaction of the Liberian people.
But eventually not bringing the closure, that's your interpretation. It could possibly go to court if you feel that something something improper was done administratively on his watch as the Minister of Justice. There's a second portions of the questions I'm coming with. I'm just trying to lay the basis of this here, based on what Senator Prince Johnson and other people are saying, and we know things happen, and he is the chief laws enforcer of the Republic of Liberia. So you say, is that a public opinion drive you're taking?
That's it.
So then it's
that
that's just a circumstantial evidence which you cannot take to court to win it,
right,
right?
right. But you must also understand that there are several people who we saw without evidence in our society that were accused in public opinion of doing things against the citizens that today they are on international sanctions. So you cannot also negate public opinion.
Who are those?
Well, the like of Samuel Tuer, the like of Jefferson Koji, all of that, these people were accused that they were involved into some, high level of corruption and
People got their evidence, not necessarily. I mean, we were just talking before this action came on the part
yeah,
of
but
they got their evidence based on what they have, not what the government of Liberia is. Not the government of Liberia. The government does have the right to request for these things here if they want to press charges, like they said with Serena Seaforth and the other guy, which didn't happen. Whatever the reasons, even though the president came that they were going to have they were going to be investigated, but that did not happen. The reason I'm asking this question here, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying, what I'm saying now, Mr. So that it was in the public glare until today sanctions have dropped on people for things that everybody knew was happening.
So do you believe? Oh yeah, hold on. Do you believe the actions of the public? Why are you talking? What the liberal is talking? Nathaniel McGee do this. Do you think believe on the assertions of the talkings of the public? It is on that basis the American actor. Is that what you want to tell me?
No, I know that the American gather sufficient information to run down the verdict, but equally so, the Americans also relies wholly and solely on public opinions, and they also depend on public opinion, people bringing them information and all of that, and they did their own fact finding to come up with these sanctions. So obviously, Musa Dean have not committed any crime, but with the public opinions and the perceptions about everything that have been going on in the country that he failed to bring to a closure is what bring this.
So,
is what
are you saying he failed in your belief, or is that the government's position you're taking?
That's the government position. Not only in my belief, the government have failed as a justice minister. Most of these cases should have been dealt with properly, but he failed to deal with it adequately. So it shows your level of incompetency. That is why people are saying that the man is not competent. That it have nothing to do with law or nothing to do with whether if he wrong and he found guilty on anything. It is the level of incompetence. Number two, it is the level of him being in a position. People are looking at the threat it could cause for the state if Ambassador Boyka is going to prosecute people in the government that he was justice minister for. So all of these things that what people are looking at and saying, look, we don't think this guy, that what Prince Johnson is highlighting these things. So for me, I agree with Prince Johnson. The only thing I'm saying is that President Weah is using a strategy that I believe he's supposed to use. Because if I were in President Weah's shoe, I would use the same strategy too. I have no option. That's my point. But what Prince Johnson is saying is true. The man is right.
Okay, Liberal, let me ask you, and I don't want any circumstantial people, public opinion that not quote. You can't go to any case, quote, and win that, oh, this is what the people said. The judge would need a high court evidence. You as a Liberal, do you think Councillor Frank Musa Dean has committed or done anything wrong that warrant him not to be associate justice?
Thank you, Mr. So I think we're here to have a exchange of ideas. Unlike you sitting over there, I won't be surprised if you have some spur because you looked at somebody from Texas getting ready to do a Texas Ranger business here tonight on LPR, which I just want to make that point clear that you're just like a sheriff from Texas, and which I think on LPR we don't do sheriff business here. So I just want to make that point clear to you. Mr. So, Honorable Dean has done nothing wrong. Honorable Dean, people are now claiming that he's not competent and he's not qualified. I will say to those people, including my two colleagues here on this line tonight, let us don't forget that Honorable Dean was confirmed by the Senate for this current position he's in. Now, don't also forget that he was at one time was a professor of law at the University of Liberia. Let us don't forget that he also practiced law in front of the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. This man, his qualification has nothing to be matched. So I don't agree with those sentiments. However, Mr. So, it is the duty of the Senate to consent. It is the duty of the Senate to say we agree or we don't agree. Let us don't try to hoard all the stuff to salad dressing this position. President, we has the constitutional right. There's no one amount else that would deny that. President Ray has the constitutional right to do it. The Senate is also mandated by the Constitution to that new position for the new position to and see if he have the ability. If the Senate said no, so be it. But let us don't try to fool around with this thing with Prince Johnson and take up trying to seek relevance. Prince Johnson trying to seek some sort of a political grandstand and what have you. This I don't agree with. So no, Honorable Dean has done nothing. Nothing. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, President Honorable Dean has been the one or two people in this outgoing government that have always holding the Liberian people and their constitution to stand straight. So this has nothing to do with President Dean. I call it Councillor Dean doing something wrong. He is quite ready, capable of leading, Mr. So Sheriff.
You seems to be confused this evening.
Sheriff, please do not talk about what I'm confused about.
Mr. So you say I'm CDC man. Now you saying I'm terrorist. So
I told you.
Sheriff.
You won't put me under the bus now.
Flo, when you settle down, you let us know. Okay. So, Amos Joyce.
Yeah.
Was there anything wrong on the part of Councillor Frank Musa Dane that warranted him not to be nominated, not to have the opportunity to defend his nomination?
Yes. But before I comment on that, let me say something to the Labour. Actually, nobody questioning Musa Dane academic criteria. Nobody. But it's one thing. You are educated.
Before, can you give yourself light a little bit?
It's one thing.
Where are you tonight? Because you like
you look like in Liberia.
Are you talking to me now?
No. Is it possible to give yourself a little light? Because you look like a ninja here this evening.
I will have to go in the living room.
So it's one thing to talk about someone's academic criteria and his character. I did not question, or nobody had questioned Musa Dean's academic portfolio. No. He been a professor at law school. He had a law firm. Yeah, practice cases in front of the Supreme Court. Good. But yeah, my problem with Samson too, all the things he talking. The liberal, all the tapata he talking. Can he tell me all the major cases that we are talking about? What was Musa Dean? You put in what was his decision on the cases? Maybe the liberal is forgetting to know. Musa Dean is the only person in the government that determine the Minister of Justice is the only agency in the government that determine what criminal case or cases to go
Can be
forward.
prosecuted.
So if there's any case or cases that he deemed that there's the evidence is not sufficient enough that he can go to court, he must tell the Liberian people. Because when something happened to me, if someone hit me with an object, I go to the court. The Minister of Justice come to defend me. That means the person has hurt the Republic of Liberia. So the Minister of Justice will come to defend me because that's a criminal issue. So the Minister of Justice will come to defend me. But the Minister of Justice, because they have to look at my case and say, you know what happened? We can't pick up the case. This case got no magnitude. So we cannot take it forward based on this evidence we are gathering. How many cases that Musa Din came to the Liberian to make a compelling argument that, you know what, the death of this person, based on what we have seen,
Okay.
we don't have sufficient evidence to take this case to court. Let me tell you another one. The $1 million drug case. What was Musa Din's position? He sat down there, they went to court, carried sloppy evidence, bribed the people, sloppy evidence, they threw the case out of court, and the people went scot-free. Then he turned around to have a press conference that they're going to file a complaint when the people had already left the country. Did you ever hear from the Minister of Justice again on that issue? What the complaint going to be filed for? The case was in front of you. You put your lawyer there, your department, you send them to represent the Republic. And when they did a sloppy job or connive with the people, then you come back after the court ruled to say, oh, we disagree with the court.
Okay, let me bring in.
So these are some of the issues that we are talking about. Nobody has questioned his qualification, but we are questioning his character, the way he had ran the Minister of Justice. That's what we are questioning.
So,
yes, the president has a right. Nobody is arguing that. But we are calling on our senators to not vote this man, and the Liberian people should make sure they tell the senator or occupy the capital building that this confirmation should not be heard.
Okay, and this is where the sort of hypocrisy on the part of the some of the lawmakers, they see the sit and allow things to go, and the reason because
for once, I bow before you. For once, you're looking at cardboard tonight, but it's okay. You're saying the truth. Go ahead, my brother. You're my brother tonight.
I'm not your brother. I always say the truth. Yeah, I'm not like you. You are politically driven. You don't, when your people does it the wrong way, you didn't say it. So I'm not your brother. You can describe me, whether George Bush grandson or whatever, it's up to you. I don't care. Let me bring in D4 here. Because the reason I'm asking here, the lawmakers, the Senate, they have the constitutional right to summon the appointees of the executive. We saw what happened here in the case of Hillary Clinton. Whatever went on to the State Department, they didn't do the other. I know they called him once for whatever reason, but how aggressive they can be on this thing. They just become more or less reactionary on as soon they talk it one time finish. Let me bring you D-Flow. No, don't worry, I'm coming back to you. I'm wondering what are all of these things here, and I'm not seeing these the concerns Senator Johnson and many Liberians. We have talked all of this here. But what has been the force of the first branch of government to call this man and say, hey, we need answers, or we will just continue to do it with this the African way? You have senior government officials that are, for God's sake. You will not. D-Flow, let's bring you in.
Good evening.
Are you on how to call it inaugural boulevard in Liberia or what?
I'm on Executive Boulevard.
Executive Boulevard.
Yeah.
He's not sanctioned.
I just thought for me, honestly, I just thought maybe the president was going to try. I thought the president was going to turn the wheel around, go within the ANC column, the other Liberty Party win, they get qualified, competent people, the other political party, and throw this whole range monkey within the Unity Party incoming government and see how they're going to scramble over it. But it is what it is. So let's bring you here. Good. Is that should I say good morning or good evening?
It's good morning, Labrador. It's about 2:21 a.m. here on the west coast of Africa. In the Republic of Liberia, is a new day. Liberia is quiet since Ambassador Boka was elected as the president. The country is very peaceful.
So, oh my goodness. You're okay, we here. Okay, so
what a Chinese like.
Life is good here, but it's just a bit of Panjo is a little bit.
I think they put the voices on. Okay. Let's have a conversation here quickly here. D-Flow, let me get your side of the story here. People, this court with our click, they're running their judgment all over the place here tonight. Some of them don't even have no file, nothing here. Is the president's decision to bring in, as Minister Frank Musa Ding done anything wrong that warrant not to give him the confirmation process to explain himself? You got to confirm. Who knows? The confirmation will give us an idea. Going for confirmation does not mean that he's going to be qualified. They're going to confirm him, but that will allows him to also explain himself, and maybe things that we didn't know will know about it. But do you think, like Senator Prince Johnson is pushing, that you know what, put it on layaway, keep it in there until after the inauguration, because as long as it doesn't go, what we don't know whether President-elect Boyka will say, okay, maybe I re-nominate him. You never know. Politicians, these people, they do some bizarre things, I'm telling you. But do you think Frank Musa Ding doesn't warrant to get that job?
Good evening again to the panelists, the Liberal. Good evening, good evening to Terry, good evening to Bob George. Nice to have you guys. To see you guys for the first time. Broadcast, joining you guys from the West African state, country of Liberia, for the first time. As soon as I settle here, I'll try to be with you guys every evening, if possible. But right now, I have not settled in fully. But to answer your question, good evening to the panelists. Good evening to our friends, the radio land watching us many miles away. I'm right here in Minneapolis, not too far from President-elect Joseph Boka's compound. I want to say it's a pleasure to be with you guys again. To answer your question,
in Minneapolis? Yeah.
No. I'm on executive.
Labrador, Minneapolis. Labrador, Minneapolis. Now, I don't call it. What is it?
Miami.
Miami.
You in Miami? Yeah.
I know Miami will soon be going. The chairman will be removed very soon from her house. On a serious note, since Ambassador Boka was declared a winner of the presidency, the country is very peaceful, quiet, as it used to be back in the days. And I'm very impressed. I have traveled. You know, usually when I come here, I don't sit in Muswell. I'm not the Muswell kind of guy. I like to go outside. When you leave the city, even in Moravia, when you travel, you see the enthusiasm, you see this kind of a mindset of the people. It's just amazing to be in Liberia. But I will tell you something before I come to your question, my brother Afonso. There's a guy in the CDC that he and I used to go back. He used to be insulting my mom when I go after Mr. Weir. When you said Joseph Boka. Just yesterday, I met this guy. He started begging me for money. So,
oh, come on, D-Flow. Come on. So, suppose the man need your help.
You can't cost me any want my money.
You not cost the money?
No, but my money, you
this
cost me.
election is over.
Yeah. You see, you want to be more than the CDC. You're hanging up. You went your way, he went his way. The guy asked you, you drink your beer and get over it. What?
You know the internet.
Okay, all right. You see, yeah, because I think the man said God beating you not to. Because you say if the man want even you not you want complain. Okay, Liberal.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just move in. All of these things that we are talking, the argument of Senator Prince Johnson perhaps is in the minds of other lawmakers and other people here. They have the authority. They have the authority for this guy maybe to get him there for 24 hours, 7 to 2 hours to appear. But our lawmakers, our advocates, they are reactionaries. When it happens today to talk about it, that's it. The only progressive politicians that I see and are very consistent in making sure that they get answers to their demand, if you go to places like Ivory Coast, Ghana, our people to go there today, the real thing can start, then they run away because they want to be a psychedelic politician. They don't want to go to jail. If you are a politician, get prepared to get your hands behind your butt and go somewhere. That's the advocates. It's not a small thing. They don't want to go. They are protective of their job. They don't challenge. They don't take on issue. They are unwilling to take the risk because if they take the risk, their job will be at stake. So if all of these things that we are talking, even if it is true, and there are some things that, of course, which of course worrying to talk about, why these people never call Frank Musa Dane to demand answers? And if possible, to say, you know what, Mr. President, this guy, he needs to go. But we just tell you, when you go load the call for TV, Spoon TV, Copa TV, and have these fabulous, endless press conferences, no result, just to get the attractions of the people, and the ordinary Liberian people drown themselves into this sort of exhibition by these politicians. And later on, we just go down the hill. Why they never call this guy when they had the authority to do so? And even if the president would not act upon their recommendation, to call him out and put him on record, Mr. President, at this time we feel the Minister of Justice, the police commissioners, because those two entities to collaborate. If the Minister of Justice go in, the police commissioner too got to go, because the police commissioner takes direct direction from the Minister of Justice. If the Minister proper is not working, the possibility of the commissioner, he himself, is not doing it. I call the president, Mr. President, these two people, they need to go. And you just put it there, and the president don't take decision, you have done your part. Everybody zip up. Here we are. The president, he does have the right to make, why he's saying untimely, there's nothing untimely. And I would say it, and that's where you say I'm on the other side of the wall. In as much as it is a lame dog section now, the president, there's a one president at a time. If there was a firecracker in the Republic of Liberia, the person who going to authorize the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia, it is the sitting president. You can't say, oh, no, the president, you get 1 week to go, so you can't give order to AFL, you can't give order to the security, you can't declare state of emergency. No, it doesn't work like that. We have our own self-interpretation as to how the law should be interpreted and works for us. Why these people didn't call Frank Musa Dane?
Thank you, Mr. So. Just before I answer your question, point of observation. I think on this platform tonight, I am in a perfect position to talk about Liberia, a country in West Africa, strictly based on my attire. Simple. I'm just giving it to you as it is. I mean, you can't be dressing like somebody from Texas and try to talk about like. I'm just putting the observation. Let me go.
Why you gotta do with what we're talking about?
So I said put the observation. I'm entitled to that. If somebody living in Atlanta dressed like somebody in Atlanta, and then they say they want to talk about like, I put the observation. That's all it is. Let me go now. Mr. George and my own buddy Terry, their assertion here tonight is laughable. It's laughable, to say the least. Look, Mr. So, we cannot play these kinds of games. They're saying legislation, these senators, they were the same senators that confirmed Musa Dane. And what Mr. George, all of his narrative that he has given us here tonight, these are not in isolation. These are public knowledge. Not only a knowledgeable person can see it or read it, but the senators themselves, they are quite aware of it. And the Senate has the power to invite any minister who perhaps they have issue with, and ask questions. These brown bag senators or brown bag senators who will not do much of their work, these are the people now that you want to have trust in, because now you disagree with Honorable Musa Dean, and therefore you're going to throw it in the lap of the same senators that are unable to perform their duty. Within the last 6 years, they sat there, the president of the Republic of Liberia, of course, none of their business, but they knew very well that some of the ministers were not performing. And they've refused to call many of these ministers to book and say, look, we're not telling the president how and who to hire. But you, minister, what have you done in X, Y, and Z? They have not done anything. And now these are the same people you're sending our brothers and sisters to stand in public and try to demand that these senators, those same brown bag senators that have done nothing within the last 6 years, now you want them to stand up. And stand up to who? President Weah? That ain't happening. You got no vote. Your excuse Minister Dean. Let him get his associate position and let's move on. If you have something, bring it on. Don't come and try to make most of the people. He's trying to seek public, relevant. Let's put it in. So tonight, I'm not here for Kumba here. If you people have nothing on Councilor Dean, excuse the way that Councilor Dean walked through and becomes an associate justice.
Famous George.
You know,
Can you just make it quick? Let me say something. I have to go, please.
yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, go ahead quickly, Flo.
Yes, sorry for that. You don't have I'm still using the iPhone. Usually when you use the iPhone, it will get hot. I'm not using all the studio equipment. If I did not bring anything other than my iPhone or other clothes, little things that I took with me just to come for some work down here and then get back to Minneapolis again. On the issue of Musa Day, the president has the constitutional right to appoint and dismiss. But the timing for me, and looking at the conversation, the argument between retirement and
hold on one second. Are you saying the timing for you or for the country? Which one?
The timing is what I'm concerned about. And beyond the timing, yes, beyond the timing, I'm also concerned about Musa Day himself. Under the watchful eyes of Musa Day as the minister of justice. A lot of things happen in this town, in Montserrat, in Morovia, that Musa Day is fully in the know of. Musa Day should not be confirmed. Musa Day, if he's confirmed, what you get there is things that Musa knows about, the auditor, the depth of the auditors will never get to be exposed, or he will never get to be questioned about.
But hold on one second. How will you get to know about it? If whether he's involved, he's in the know or not, how do you think you're gonna know?
How you know is when Musa Day is out of power and there's an established investigation, Musa Day can be called in. Here he will be a civilian. He will not be on a bench. He will not be on a bench. When a man is on a bench, cannot be questioned.
No, but there is a process involved. This is unfair, and this is what we do here. We don't really have to like. We don't have to agree. We're not here to entertain the people because what they want to hear, or you people who are so politically driven. If I come on here today, a theory, and anybody accuses D4 is a murder. You're sentencing him for life imprisonment. Is that a fair trial?
Well, I'm just
All this person, two person was killed. D4 was around that proximity. So D4, every time somebody died, D4 is there.
This is not proximity to the crime. This is not the crime scene we're discussing. We are discussing some of the issues. How did Mr. Weah get to know that those people are having sex on Broad Street? Where did he hear it from? For the news or Musa Day? There are a lot of things that happen here. And to be honest with you, when you're in Liberia, you see a picture of the Weah administration. You see a clear picture of these people. These country boys came in.
D-Flow.
Yeah.
That's not a conversation here. Don't derail this train here because Y'all will come tomorrow, y'all will be the same thing. I'm asking, how will we get to know whether Musadin or even the sitting president is in the know when they will not? Because I feel calling him for confirmation is not is not what should I say, a condition that when you call him for confirmation, people go for confirmation and go there 2, 3, 4 times, and then
Yeah, but
decision
they can take the fifth. Mr. So if they may take the fifth, what can you do?
Okay, but when you
Yeah.
take the fifth, the committee has the right to come and give their decision to confirm or not to confirm you.
But
But for us to sit there and
how
say,
many?
But
for
you
us
just
to
Mr.
say
Weah
that
you
and
has
just
draw a
blame the Senate.
conclusion,
You
eh?
just said that
Mr.
the
Weah
Senate has
Mr. Weah
no
has how
backing
many
to
days?
call people. So
Mr.
how
Weah
can
has
you
how many
put
days to the
confine these people?
presidency?
Also,
Mr.
we're
Weah has
paying
how
the
many days?
people that take 15 cents, so we're paying them for nothing. They can't call people. Is that what you want to tell me?
Well, they
Mr. So
can
if you
call
want me to
people, but
respond, let the floor go ahead first. I will respond to
Yeah,
you.
but Deflo, I don't want to go to Joy Weir and that thing part of the game is all over. I want us to
well,
stick to the topic here this evening.
I told you that Mr. Weah has the authority, the power to appoint in this place, which we know is constitutional. But in the town here, many people are uncomfortable with a mindset or appointment of Musa Dean as to be on the bench. Musa Dean knows a lot about this country. When you are justice minister, you have you get picture of crimes. You get to talk to people. You get to talk to police officers. You get to talk to ordinary people. Before you take the case to court, you have to know the merit and the demerit of the case. Can you win the case? So when we're talking about, for me, I'm concerned about the death of the auditor. Let me tell you something, folks. These guys, they did a lot of what we call organized crimes in this country. They committed a lot of crimes in this country. Things that were done by this government when they leave power, when the Liberian people get to know the details of some of these things that they did. I did criminal justice. That's my first degree. I did criminal justice. My BA is in criminal justice. You can see from the picture that Musa Dane at least should be put on the side for now. Let's get to see what happened as justice minister under his watch, what he knows about this country when it comes to the
Okay.
auditors, death, and other things.
Okay. Thank you so much. Terry,
Yeah,
let me
Mr. So
let me bring before you come. I'm not a guy who likes to infringe on people right. And this is where the problem is in our society. Even here, when somebody murdered and even that gun is caught with that person, you will always say allegedly until they are given the due process. I see this as a perfect stunt to reel it, grill, and bring Musa Daint before to have that sort of, maybe it could be like a real good public hearings. So we will know when he says some damaging thing, when he says things that he have not said in the past. This is the perfect storm. But for us to just draw a conclusion that, okay, it's untimely, this is not the right time. So then what is the right time?
well, Mr. So the timing, the reason why people are complaining about the time is because this guy who was on the bench was sick for almost a year. He admitted that he was sick for 8 months plus. So just 1 month towards inauguration, then you send in a retirement letter,
So,
and then
so
within the period of time,
mhm.
President, we are nominating Musa Dean. Obviously, it is a political strategy. And
Okay, so
that is why people are complaining about the timing. Yeah,
okay, the
you want to
timing. So suppose Councillor Tiawan Gonglo was nominated.
fine.
That's
I
supposition. That's
myself will honor
supposition.
it.
You
I
hold
myself,
on. You
but
will honor
Mr.
it. I
So,
come to you here. You will honor it,
but
Terry.
yeah, but Mr. So, President Weah cannot nominate Tawan Gongo because he knows that if he does that, like you were talking something about nominating people from ANC, President, we are not going to do that because he knows that those people will not compromise. He knows that. And there are so many things that have been going on in the government that they don't want to be unraveled. And let me tell you one thing that is major here that we're not talking about. the Mususcat has taken the Mususcat case. They have taken an appeal to the Supreme Court. All right. So if this dude sits on the bench, there's a possibility that even if Mususcat supposed to be set free, she could go back into prison and be. In fact, the ruling of the Supreme Court will nail it perpetually. There will be no way for them to remove it. So we are only focusing on the auditor, but we are not seeing the bigger picture that there is a cunning strategy going on to make sure that that verdict that came down on Glover Mususcat for murder, that case that is not that is very that I myself, when I heard that the woman that these people were the verdict came down, the juror rule, I myself cold bomb came upon me, because the evidences that we saw over there, we were not a lawyer, that's substantial enough to justify murder. So if this guy goes on the bench, I'm very afraid and troubled. That is why, I'm surprised at the labor tonight. You understand, eh? If we sat down on the platform here for over 1-2 hours discussing the level of corruption in our society, discussing about how, John Molu coming, all of that, if we can discuss all of that. But you, as a senior educator on this network, know very well that this particular nomination is detrimental to the justice system of Liberia. We support it. I have a problem. I have a problem with that. Because, Mr. Soul, this nomination, why you think the whole country have a problem with it? Because everybody knows
the country been having a problem. Guys, we got to put it the right way. So you're not bringing.
So when your way is the right way.
I'm not that. I'm just only making my own convincing argument. In as much you have those legitimate concerns, let him go to the confirmation.
But Mr. So you're missing the point. Nobody is saying that Muzadin should not go to the confirmation hearing. We said that he should not be confirmed.
But no, you're talking two different. You're talking two different.
No. So can I get
it's not a right time.
No.
I'll give it to you.
You get it mixed up. Don't mix it up. We said that Muzadin should not be confirmed. We said that I'm saying that he should not be confirmed because he got a whole lot of steam around him.
Okay, that's what we're saying. Let the process.
So they don't say that different thing.
I would be convinced.
We are saying he should not be confirmed. And the only people that have the authority are the senators. And that's what
why may you think, if you're saying that, why may you think the senator don't even have that good judgment too as well? So what is your apprehension?
But you are the same person said that these guys they never had his final call.
Yeah, because the way you were talking, he's not the right person. No, you're being prejudged. You're being judgmental.
No, Mr. Sowell, you're missing the point here. The Senate, let me go to the labor first. I'll come to you. He said that the Senate has a way of working. Our chair is the president pro tem. If you write any minister or to cite anybody, the president pro tem has to approve of that letter for the minister of that director to come. Citation to come. Many times so many people when they say they want to when they cite now or what happened, when they say they want to cite the person, Sir Joseph, your patron corrupt Sir Joseph, chairman executive, you say the executive sees the matter. And when the executive sees the matter, you cannot do anything again. Because Sir Joseph has to approve of that meeting or whatever before it can come back to the floor. So that's how corrupt the Senate has been working. Our chair is there. When our chair doesn't agree, nothing will come to the floor. You can't cite the Minister of Justice when our chair doesn't agree. He has to, tell the clerk, write that letter. So that has happened. It was the same thing they were doing the Yeke Kolba. When Bofachin was there, every communication Yeke Kolba wrote, Bofachin was talking and sat down and never came to the floor. Even he yelled the Capitol building, never came to the floor. So that's how the Senate work. It's not that because you send it today, you can just go and decide this minister, he come out of director. No. It has a procedure, and those were the procedure. So what CDC did, they put the people in this strategic position. How much the person put them? Your patron, Sir Joseph, is the chairman of the executive. In the house, you have
Amos George.
Yes.
That Tabata you're talking, I don't have time for it.
No.
No. Yeah.
So you tell me.
Joseph Boyka, no, tell me. No, let me just tell you now, because a lot of your politics, your team politics. Joseph Boyka, when he becomes president, he has to make sure somebody that will push his agenda to be the pro tem,
But that's
to
what
be the
I'm telling you.
executive. So what CDC doing? The great United States here. Why you think they have crazy people?
But then what you asking me for? My point I'm raising to you, don't say that the citizen never had it, because the way they
the only person that has screamed, and we know that been screaming, they were not getting his things on the floor. I've never called one senator who said, well, this is what we have done when it comes to Musa Day, because Musa Day is the center of glory. Who's that?
They sent for Samuel Tuwe.
I'm talking about Musa Day. I'm talking about
Samuel Tuwe said he cannot. He sent a deputy to say no. We want the minister to come. They see arbitrated. They say the minister is on official business. He can't come. What can the senator do?
I am talking.
Mr. So, can I put this in real quick?
So yeah, before you come here, you brought in Gloria Musu Scott. I don't know where you're on the investigation that you are gathered. I think this is the perfect. We want to fix it like we can't fix it how well. You have a renowned person who presided over a reputable organization, the Truth and Reconciliation, Jerome Verder. He sat on a major platform here and he was giving narrative or play-by-play description. I think this is the best time he made it crystal clear that he have evidence. So I think this is the time now she's been convicted. This is the time he's supposed to produce that. Have you ever heard from him since this whole thing, Musa started?
Well, like he said,
did you follow that case, Mr. So? Did you follow that case?
The man is waiting for this government to leave, and he may go to Liberia. But Mr. So, what I wanted to say is that this thing, because we didn't have the opportunity to discuss Gloria Musu Scott case on the show. I thought we would have done that, but maybe for another time. But to be honest with you, you talk about how the old senator put the Musa Din on layaway. They not what they're doing there is that they're soliciting, they're waiting to see whether if the president-elect or the president is going to bring in envelopes. That's what they're trying to do there. So I think what they're doing is suspending. They're just putting it down to see the level of envelopes that are going to come in. That's what they're doing. They're hustling right now. So they're acting that they say they don't have time for it. That's what they can do. That is Liberia for you. So they will act like they don't have time for it and see what first of all they want to gather public opinion. What the public saying about it. Now, when the public opinion come in, the way in which if it's sufficient enough to crack them down, then maybe they may decide to choose which way to go. But as it stands, those guys are soliciting funds right now to see how much is going to come in from the government for them because they're not going to approve Musa Din Jarada. Something have to fall down in that house before they approve it. Wow. If they were confirming, it's not going to be free. It's not going to be free. But the Gloria Musu Scott case, Mr. So, when I listen, I follow it on Spoon TV. When I listen to all these things and the way the jury rule and all of that particular case, cold bumpkin on me for Liberia. I'm telling you. Because murder, no, I'm not satisfied with it.
Well, I mean,
Terry, who you blame? If somebody defense prosecutor to make some big mistakes, they sat down there and put 15 men on a juror when you got a woman standing trial. Now, look at some of the evidence that the prosecution produced. Their own pathology omitted something that on the little fingernail, there was what was found there was something made. The prosecution own pathologist said that that was not crucial to the case, so he did not put that in the document, in the evidence.
Wow.
You see those kind of missteps. Somebody had died mysteriously. The government in process, you pathologist, you find some made information on this person, but you said no, you didn't put it in your record because that was not important to the case. Can you imagine that?
All right. Folks, the number is out there. My view, We need to know what happens under his watch as the Minister of Justice. And I think this is the perfect time to go through the confirmations and let him ask him. Based on what he explains, we will know whether he will be confirmed or not. So, Diplo, do you want them to have this confirmation process, or it should just stay in the committee?
I think it should put it on hold for now. There are too many things that so many things that people need to know about. For Musa Day as a private citizen, than just going there as to sit on the bench and use the Fifth Amendment and then close it up because of the law that we have on the book. So for me personally, I think Musa Day should just sit down and wait. Yeah, how many more days left? Mr. Weah has about 23 days, 22 days basically left on his calendar to be the next former president. And I told you that his checkpoint will be removed because he's the only man that has a checkpoint right before his house. So that checkpoint should be removed on day one. That's what I think. And they should remove his checkpoint and give the traffic to people. There's no need to have a traffic to that place where you have to cycle around here and pro-temperate, and they have their own enclave that they sit in there. So when it comes to Musa Day, I think Musa should be put on hold.
Should be put on hold. Folks, the number is out there, 682. Let's hear from you. Delibera, I think you made your position clear already. Should it?
I can make it more clearer. It's not quite clear yet because I still see these two gentlemen or three gentlemen continue to argue feebly, which is not quite going to move in a needle, but they continue to argue. So let me make it very clear. And I'm glad perhaps they might be able to understand that. Mr. So, look, I'm enjoying myself, to be honest with you.
Oh my God.
You cannot come to this public gathering and try to pass information based on emotion.
It's not emotional.
Mr. Jones,
but you're wrong.
Are you feeling that you were talking?
I do that.
So, to let Liver and the CEO is amazing tonight.
Terry, you see nothing here.
I believe in protecting civil liberties. Yeah. I want to hear from him. I want to hear. It would be an interesting confirmation.
Let me say this. On many occasions, I don't agree with you, Mr. So, because your views are very, very, very restrictive, conservative view. And I'm not in favor of those type of stuff. However, you seem to be seeing the light because you've been around the liberal for quite a while. So you see the light, which is acceptable. That's fine. Look, let me just say this. Whether you go up or you come down, you got to follow the Constitution. You can't say the time is untimely. Who gave that permission to say it's untimely? Where in the book you will say it's untimely? None. If the people are saying it in a real liberal English now, if the men go for confirmation and dollars they don't come out say so thing happened, what was your position? You can't answer it. Dollars don't say because you're not able to answer my question, my vote is no. And you go accept. And if he has more vote, he goes. If he has less vote, he stays. What do you mean? It's the fear you guys have. And this is, it's unacceptable. I was going to use the other language, but I'm speaking about LPR.
You can say anything.
So no, I can't do that. I'm very much, but of course, on the Southern liberal, I would like to use those words, but I'm not going to use it here tonight. I will temper my conversation with you guys. Let me just say this. You guys scared. Oh, that's the right word. You're scared because you ain't got a vote to blacking, and the only thing you want to use is to use the Liberian people to blacking. So yes, let me tell you the secret. The other people that the Liberian people have already rejected, you are the mercy of their goodwill. If they decided to put their thumb on you, you're done. You got nothing because they got nothing to lose. They're not coming back. It's just, your position so weak. You're so scared. Your position so weak. And you got the other man laying down over there, no light. He talking about they not time. What time is it, like, bro? Right now, that time. Why you that time?
Oh my goodness.
So your position is laughable, to be honest with you. As long President Weah and Mossadegh has the constitution on their back, there's nothing you can do, to be honest with you. The best thing you can do is, okay, let's see the honest folks at the legislation that will look at this thing here. The way I see it, from my perspective, and you don't have to agree with me, President, we are nominating Councillor Dean at this hour. I think it's not good for the unity of our country. Because excuse me?
Are you favoring?
What do you mean by unity? Unity for unity on what?
Okay.
Are you favoring Labour?
Oh, the Liberal can favor on
because I do understand you to be honest.
He said, you know, we're coming for a partner. I don't know who supposed to be people unity.
Let him go ahead. Let him talk.
No, he said unity.
Check by yourself first. Then when I read it, your week again, because I'm very good at that. I'm a liberal. Let me say this on a very serious note. President Weah conceded because he felt within himself that the unity and the peace of the country is important, bigger than him. Number one. When I say you reconciling and unifying the people, the election, this going election, it clearly indicate in anybody's book that Liberians are divided. They are not quite united on many issues. Now, by nominating Councillor Dean, he has the constitutional right, he has everything going for him. But for me, it does not pass the smell test. It does not pass the decency test. That's about the only argument that I have. Now, if President Weah wants to carry on the process of unifying people and making sure that our brothers and sisters come together, this is not the nomination that you would do. Especially this person's been sick for this long. You only have less than 1 month. Let the new president come in and make that nomination. Let that new president also show to the Liberians that he too can select somebody who has Liberian interests at heart. But by you bringing this person, look how much we're spending time on it. It's a divisive idea. That's about the only argument we have, that his nomination process is divisive among us. It's not sitting well with many people. But you can't wrap yourself around the flag on this. You got nothing. You got nothing in terms of constitution and even the law. I was just reading some of the jurisprudence in Liberia, and it states clearly that if
But who acting about the law?
Stop right, the liberal is on the floor. If Mossadegh has committed any crime, or if the Senate feel that Mossadegh is not quite up to the par, they will bring it up. That's what the confirmation is about. You're bringing people who are against Mossadegh, they come and state their reason why they will be against Mossadegh. You bring people who are for Mossadegh, they come and state their reason why they are for Mossadegh. And you make those judgments based on the information at hand. You can't come here and argue untimely.
So, something too, you just in multiple places here tonight because you on the same one side you want to appease Musa, on the other side you want to take into factions of the Constitution. It's unacceptable. That's a hypocrisy.
Because you're wearing your cowboy uniform in Texas as a sheriff, you're gonna tell me it's unacceptable what I say? What I say is unacceptable. What I say, what comes out of my mind, my mouth, individual. liberty in your because you're wearing a sheriff uniform. You're going to try to somehow abuse my liberty here tonight on this platform. Is that what you're trying to suggest, Mr. Snow?
He just disagreed with you.
Unacceptable.
These are people who are getting their feelings when you try to. I get a clear-cut position. Unlike you, in your own words, you have demonstrated exactly who you are: unbalanced, unstable, unreliable. I mean, everything about that's just what you're doing. You want to be this
all
person.
of that, but you missed one point. However, with all of the characteristics that you try to impose on me, I'm always right when it comes to political.
No, you're not. No, you're not right. Something too.
I just beat you. You 1% they say I'm not right.
No, you're not right. Majority is not always right. Something too.
But we beat you.
I accept it, but I just say majority is not always right. But let me say this: what I see you doing here, don't get our listener confused.
Don't worry about the listener. The listener, I'm not here for
because what we are seeing.
I'm not here for friendship. I'm not here for anything but to be truthful.
What we are seeing here.
1 second, I'll be with you guys.
What we are seeing here, we are throwing that issue up. We're not talking about personal constitutional rights. We are saying, for me, I'm saying that my stewardship had caused me to raise eyebrow of he going to the Supreme Court. His stewardship as Minister of Justice has raised eyebrow of him, me saying he going to the Supreme Court. And you spoke about him being confirmed by the Senate. Musa Din at the time, though, he had no work for government. He was in a private practice when the president nominated him to be Minister of Justice. So he had no access baggage to question. But after serving for almost 5.5 years, there he carried out some political baggage that he has to answer for. So don't use the time that Musa Din was nominated.
Don't interrupt. You arguing that he shouldn't be given the opportunity.
Hold on. I did not say, I said Musa Din should not be confirmed.
What is the pathway of being confirmed, not to be confirmed?
He goes to the judicial committee, and that process is not open. They will ask him the question, the committee will ask him what they want to ask, and they will vote upon that. And when they vote upon that, then when it passes, they bring it out to the full body. The full body now we call to have a hearing, confirmation hearing. That is the process. Okay. But we are saying these senators should not vote for this man confirmation hearing. And what we are doing, it is our constitutional right, something to
right. And now I wanted to remind you.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. 2 of our something. Hold on.
Don't interrupt people.
Clan Chief, please hold on. You think that total quarter conversation we're having here? Why you wear your Clan Chief? You're telling me I'm from Texas. Guys, please hold on 1 second. Let our judge finish with a point. Then
okay, yeah. So starting to
hold
this
on
is what we are seeing. Musa Din has to account for his stewardship as Minister of Justice. When he was not in government, he had no baggage to carry. So what he told the senator, his view at the time was different than serving 5.5 years as Minister of Justice. There were a series of cases that went on in that past that his minister oversaw. And we have reservation. So the only thing we can do is to call on senators, the people who have the constitutional power to confirm these people that were impose our power in them, is to call them to say, look, this man should not be confirmed. He can come to your hearing, but he should not be confirmed.
Okay, now we get
that is also our right.
That is our constitutional right.
Right.
But so something told don't come here. Oh, Musa Din, yeah, it was not, but no, we question. Hey,
all right, let me go to Male June, Male and Koto Jalabalayan on the line from I don't know whether Male is by, but I believe Koto is still in the
Male is back.
Guys, good evening.
Yep. How are you, sir?
Good to have you. Are you still in Liberia or are you back here with us now?
Well, I just landed in JFK and decided to take a break and check the phone and see what was going on.
JFK. Oh boy.
You see the man, the voice is clear. Liberia, your voice can get
So,
out.
so you're not even in private yet.
Moving
You
to
calling
record
us.
because it's like some things are going the wrong direction. Jaha Open will go in the wrong direction.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I think as a panelist, we got to be mindful not to be injecting feelings into politics. Because the moment we start to inject feeling into politics, then we will start to legitimize subjectivity, and which will be very dangerous for our analysis. I agree with our judge. This man, I don't have the evidence that he has performed testimony. As an analyst, I don't have that fact. But public opinion do suggest that. But public opinion are not guarantee something that we can hang on. We can only talk about them in passing. However, despite his testimony failure according to public opinion, it is the president's prerogative at this time, up to the 22nd, to make any appointment. The timing might be wrong, but it is politically motivated. And the Constitution surely back this guy, the president. The timing may be wrong, but objectively, he's supposed to do it. Whether the man is qualified, it's a senator that will have to decide on that. However, Joseph Boakai has come into the picture with clean hands. If Joseph Boakai feels that this thing cannot go forward, Joseph Boakai cannot use the brown envelope because he's a man of a clean hands. And only the brown envelope can stop this thing from moving forward. But as long as the brown envelope doesn't come forward, trust me, we are being able to put the Senate in a strategic position in an interest. And that will also be defended at the Supreme Court when the guy passes the Senate test. So to be objective, it is his right to do it. The timing, it could be wrong based on what lens we see it. Whether the man is qualified, I don't have the facts. So to stop it, brown envelope will have to do that work effectively. But Joseph Boakai is not in the business, the brown envelope business. So Mushadin is going to be confirmed. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Koto. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Good evening. So welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening from my end, and to hi to everyone wherever you are at this moment. I want to say thanks for the discussion. I agree with Pat George and Marty. For this time, if I can agree with Pat George. He's smiling right there. Yeah.
Okay, Koto, you agree with Pat George tonight?
Hopefully, yeah.
Oh, anyway, yeah, Koto, yeah.
And the person in question that we are talking about is he will be part of one of the the branches of government, which is the judiciary. And to give a balance to the leadership in the three branches of government, selecting an associate judge should be in consideration of the judges making that decision. What should have been done is, I've been questioning or asking the associate. I think they have a legal aspect that's supposed to, give some legal go ahead from the president in the appointment. But from what we have seen, we have not seen any of such. He came out We are not seeing the bar. I think the bar association should have
Yeah, the Liberian Bar Association.
giving a go ahead of his election. But in this case, we just saw his appointment. There is no sign from the bar association of approving, he is a confirmed man. So this, for me, is going to bring some unbalanced situation in the judiciary, because that is another branch of government from the executive government. The executive coming out to make that appointment. This is where sometimes we have the executive having control over the judiciary, because they make appointment, when the appointment is made without the consultation of the judiciary, then it is the decision when all the offers from the president. And this is what we want to avoid. It should have been done in consultation with the bar in recommending, but this was not done in this process. So for me, it is not that the president does not have right. The president has right. And because this person is questionable, is having a tinted character, which by Joyce, and I agree with him. For the character on which the people of Liberia have concern about, we should also be concerned about the different things. Because from every one of us we have been seeing, from all these legal processes that have been going on, we have seen that there have been some bias judiciary process, or some undefined or some rules process, all this judiciary process. So for me, that is my concern. Yeah, his character and the concern about the Liberian people, about him. That is my concern. So I leave for now and listen.
Okay. Honestly, I'm not sure whether it's a legal binding that the president of the Republic of Liberia have to get a consent of the Bar Association. Is at the will of pleasure of the president when he wants nomination or suggestions. It's not a law to say, oh, the Bar Association must recommend this person. I haven't seen any president that appointed any of the associate justices to say, oh, the Bar Association should send a name before the president can vote. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When Helen wants to do it, that's whoever hostile he wants to do it, which is okay, but it's not a bounding, it's not like a statutory law that it has to take place. Okay, for the message in New York for true. Okay, so we are way over the time. So now, but Koto, quickly, do you agree that he should even go for the confirmation, but you are calling on the lawmakers not to confirm it? Is that your point, or he should not go for? They shouldn't even call him for confirmation.
So my problem is, if I were Georgia at this point, I can withdraw his appointment and follow the better procedure. I mean, for me, that's how I feel. But with the character he has, many people would not be satisfied with his appointment. And I want to doubt it, that the Senate will even let him pass with all the other concerns concerning Mr. Green.
Okay.
Reason is, we have elected these senators, and we are going to tell the senators that we are not satisfied with Mr. Green's appointment. And I think they are going to listen to us.
Exactly. And that's why you can do this. Is why people can petition their lawmakers, because of XY reason, way ahead of the confirmation. We know you are on a judiciary committee, you are on this committee, you are on this committee. We do not want this guy XYZ. They will receive it and they call him and go. So Jones, before we let you go, we almost about to wrap up here.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you see the huge crowd. The huge crowd right now concerning his appointment. If there wasn't any crowd from the Liberian people, you will see it going even on a hold. But because the Liberian people are concerned, that's why the legislature put it on a hold.
Okay. So Jones.
Yeah.
Do you, if it were left for you, will you give him the opportunity to ask all of these sticker questions, or you do not even want him to attend the confirmation? They shouldn't even call him for confirmation and put it on hold.
Yeah. Yeah, but let us not forget one thing here. Georgia did surrender the presidency to Joseph Boakai on the silver platter. Georgia did it for a purpose. Georgia is going to dig massive political call for the incoming president. And to be frank with you, there will be time. As long as the other coming up, some of the other reports, trust me, they might be challenged and they might end up in the Supreme Court. And it will be in George Ross's favor if he constitute that bench to defend him. George Ross did surrender the presidency. He's not willing to surrender so many other things because he Mr. Do-Good and he wants to go to the political heaven. So George Ross will push the thing to the end. And the issue of the demonstration, the Liberian people have spoken, but the Liberian people have not spoken properly. In Liberia, the divisiveness is not only among Liberians, even in the Senate. Georgia is holding a considerable number of senators in that place. If the Unity Party were only concerned mostly about the presidency, all right? So that issue, that Supreme Court Associate Justice is very strategic. And it's strategic to the point where Georgia did that thing intentionally to consolidate his back. And he will fight it until that man is confirmed. Take it or leave it.
All right, guys, we are about to go. Time has already caught up with us. Let's do our 1 minute closing statement here before we go. Koto, what's your final word? She's still there?
My final word is that the Liberian people should stand up and they should talk to their legislators to make sure that Musa Dean is not confirmed. And I'm so much believing in the Liberian people this time around. I know when they want something, they stand for it. And I believe they will stand for this. Because if they don't do that, it's going to be against them. Whatever effort they have made in electing the president-elect black guy, if they don't fight to stop those very people occurring under his government, I mean, these things will reoccur. And to stop to it, they should stop now. That's what it is to protect their vote. They should also take a stand and make sure that Musa Dean is not confirmed, if at all the legislature decide to, confirm him. So I think that's what I have. Liberian people, you know, you can listen to what is good for you. And this time around, I trust you and I believe in you guys. They're going to like this fast again. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Tiara, let's go to Minneapolis, Minnesota. What's your final word?
Yeah, thank you for the show, Mr. So. This is the reason why corruption cannot leave Liberia. There's a reason why government come and government go, and we stay complaining about how our country is corrupt. It's because of this systemic strategy of political leaders who put pundits into places that they're not supposed to be to keep massaging the level of corruption deviously to the detriment of our citizens. Then we wonder why corruption, then we come back on the network, corrupt the people, corrupt the poor, corrupt. Because we ourselves too are supporting the corruption indirectly. We see the evil, we support it indirectly. Then tomorrow now, when these people are hindering the government from being able to prosecute, then we come out again and say, oh, but why the other things supposed to happen and not why the people didn't do this? That is why. Because you see, let me tell you, another way that will maintain corruption again is that for Ambassador Boka, if this nomination go through and Musa Dean is confirmed, if Ambassador Boka wants certain things to be done that will be in the interest of the country, he now have to bribe, he have to send money there to the bench. Then people will say, oh, the people receive brown envelope, they did it. That is how corruption has been massaged over the years. I believe that we who outside, we play a major role to keep these corrupt pundits in power to permeate, to keep our country suffering. And then we'll come back again and say, oh, the country corrupt. But anyway, that is what it is. Thank you for the show. God bless.
You disappointed the Liberal tonight, eh?
No, that Liberal have his view. I'm just saying my own lay piece because, Mr. So, that is what we have to do. and tomorrow again, we don't want to come back here again and be talking the same thing over and over because these are the same people we bring back. So tomorrow we come back again and say, oh, but why the man didn't do the thing? Why the man was supposed to do it? Why he didn't do it? When you were sitting out here talking that, oh yeah, the Senate can confirm the man get it right. The law said that. But you will come back tomorrow again and be telling, oh, the man not supposed to do the one. He not supposed to do that. Tomorrow again, even in the house that we're talking about, oh, if Ambassador Boka decide to send brown envelope around. So for that, I mean, so what he mean Musa Din cannot be confirmed. We will say, you see, that the same thing that the other people will do.
Let me boil the water before we go. You know why I realize your man liberal? He has, despite of his support to Ambassador Boyka, another game he played now, he's trying to entangle Ambassador Boyka with all the. You see the man a fanatic Kofa man. He breaking Musa Din associate. Tomorrow he will come with Musa Belete, Deputy Speaker. Come on, George. Let's hear you.
Yeah, let me say this. President, we ain't gonna buy into this thing. His own executive order he issued last time. He said that there's gonna be no more employment. He went against that. Musa Din, for me, his lifetime as the Minister of Justice has raises many eyebrows about the way he go about administering justice. We saw when the government arrested Ellen Johnson's son and put him in jail. They dropped the charges. Why they dropped the charges? Why Musa Din did not explain to us why the charges were dropped. When you put this man in a pickle without no shirt, accusing him, locking up, only to come out and say the charges were dropped. Why was it dropped? Because Ellen said, better take my son out. Is this the man you want to go to the Supreme Court? He went with the president to the CID headquarters. Do we know what was discussed there?
They can't tell you that one. Don't even go there.
I just determined. They don't want to know it between themselves.
They will never tell you once you go to that place that we are saying now open your mouth. When you open your mouth at the end of it.
Mr. I just see something they know. Now, one of my arguments I'm making, if Musa didn't go to that bench, you have 4 associate justices that we have appointed.
Right.
4. Like Brimpo, you open your ear. 4. So if you can't vote 3-2, the day go for them. You can't do nothing there. So these are some of the things we're raising. 4 persons will be on the court that George has appointed. So when a case go there, we talk about investigating corruption and this and that. Those other than 5, 3 can determine that the case got no merit, throw it out. And that will be the end of it. So we have to look at some of the issues that we are raising. Because these people have lost an election, they want to pack places at the Supreme Court. They want to take control of the speakership. They want to maintain the president pro tem. The Unity Party and the Liberian got to fight back these things here. It will be difficult when these people are in a position for Joseph Boakai agenda to go through.
You want to take back your country?
No, I'm not using the word take back the country. Country for everybody. I don't go for the first.
Yeah. So when he died to you, Pajo.
Yeah, no. I don't go for the first. I pray for everybody. Always saying, don't curtail some of the illegal issues, corrupt issues that have been going on in the country. That's what some of us are fighting for. But some of us don't come here. One moment will say, "Oh, this is wrong." When we like it. When we don't like it, then that time we say it's wrong. When we like it, we say it's right.
Don't start speaking parable here. This is not a society, bougie.
It's not a society. Because the liberal come here and
call his name. He's here. Call his name.
When we question some of his friends' character, and the question I always say, if I'm lying, and Butterfly just say, "Look, you lying," but it's not lying. But because this person is your friend, and you say, "Oh, because I'm my friend now," so therefore, even with all what he had done, legally or illegally, He's right. So therefore, just put him there because I'm a friend. And we
Okay.
will not sit down on this platform to let it fly in front of us. Because
All right.
we are here to make sure
But
Liberia take a different trend. We cannot continue to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. That's
okay.
what Anson said. And again, I just want to say to the people of Bon County, especially to those that will have in your prayers. I think tomorrow, Dr. Toto will be having a Zoom meeting.
A meeting?
Yeah, a Zoom meeting tomorrow. So
Is
and I
that
want
one
to
with the, is that a citizen with the citizen?
yeah, the organization, but I will contact Dr. Toto tomorrow. But I think the fundraiser, I think it will be publicized, the number, everything will be there, and maybe that the public will be informed about that. But I think this meeting tomorrow just to come up with strategy how to arrange things. And I just want to say to all the people who have been helping the people of Bon County and that of Toronto, and listen to the representative Mama British, he named a couple of people. I want to say thank you to all those people. This is another area that we cannot wrap our hand around. Because as I heard from the doctor today, she said they are already informed some people that 8 more persons will not make it.
This is crazy.
I mean, just imagine they're telling you that your son or daughter or relative will not make it.
Wow.
I mean, just imagine.
Almost like a 3rd degree burn and stuff like that.
She's almost 5th degree.
It's just crazy.
I listened to the portion of the interview, the way that woman described the burn. I mean, some of those people, I don't know how to recover. But I just want to say to people, all those that are helping.
Don't go. The liberal just send me a text. He wants to respond to you. So,
no way you can respond to them. Thank you. But let me say this. All the things I have not heard the vice president name. Joel Howard Taylor. I have not heard her name. Joel Howard Taylor.
So, you know, when you go to Totota, you can tell that one, okay? You must say you're kicking you out. So, Jones.
Yes, sir.
Before your final statement, I did hear Pat Joyce saying, because we have to get a clear and precise message out there too. That President Weah did appoint 4 justices, which is true. But the question is, was those decisions under his constitutional purview to appoint those people? Right?
Yes. Much I have problem with.
Yeah, so you know we can't just cut down these banana trees.
They went through the procedure, and he has that obligation.
Donald Trump, they're already here. Democrats,
let me cite the point I'm making. When your cabinet then went for that confirmation hearing, they all said that Roe v. Wade will not be touched. That's a landmark decision. They all said it to the Senate. They created them, they said we will not touch it. So which one?
So which one is saying like that would be touched?
No, listen now. What they told the Senate at the time, they said no. Roe v. Wade is a landmark ruling, will not touch it. So the senators voted them to confront them. When they got there, the case went there. Today there's no more Roe v. Wade. Now what I'm seeing, George White, they went through the process, it's illegal. But what I'm saying, when they come to judgment, they also on allegiance to George Weah. And that will be his government.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's my point.
That's a work of politician.
Yeah, I think the comparison, the comparison George is making there, he had to lead that comparison. In our country, the people are not preaching politics to develop that country. The people are about themselves. So we can make the comparison. But this is the caveat I wanted to bring in here.
Yeah, I'll go ahead quickly before we go.
Yes. The president-elect who coming to be president the 22nd, he has a choice to make here. And the choice here is that I think Terry went into that direction. That we try to fight against corruption. He's right. But Joseph Barker has a choice to make here. The choice he has to make here is this. He either decide to let him reform touchdown running by supporting the banana envelope, or fight the banana envelope and not allow any of his reform to go anywhere. in the first place. Walker should know that they both surrender the presidency not for free. He's not just going like that. If he manages to capture the House and the Senate, now the Supreme Court, this will help to paralyze the president-elect. All his program, they will paralyze it and will make it unpopular, and it will be very devastating. That's a fact.
Okay.
Thank
you so much. The liberal.
Yeah, Mr. So. All I can say here with me arguing, I'm just arguing on fights. I'm on the side of the Constitution. However, in closing, I will ask the Liberian Senate to reject the confirmation process of Musa Dean on the ground that Musa Dean has not demonstrated in the last 6 years that yes, indeed, his actions are in favor of the country or the Liberian people. But that decision is solely with the constitutional body, legislature, they will decide that I am not here to say that it's untimely and what have you. So, Mr. So, it's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. Way out of time. Good night and bye-bye.
Mr. So, what will do with it, man?
No bad bush for a child. The man from Total, you will get along.
It seems that Labor choose to play the devil advocate.
I really, this guy.
I don't know.
So you cave into Terry? All the argument you are making, you cave into Terry?
No, not me.
That's what he did.
Labor didn't cave into me.
He doubles down.
Labor were playing the devil advocate tonight.
No, but he knows I will not buy down to that thing. I told him, what kind of decision making? I will not say that the problem even can't.
Labor wanted to make a discussion.
However, this sort of Tabata Amos Joyce talking here because the president appoints 4 associate justices. So blah 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 blah. Look, give me a break. The president was exercising his constitutional right under his purview. However, what I want to see, what I want to see, Terry, you see, that one made me different from you guys. You see, for you people, you get a side, you're pick, the liberal. He goes so when they push in, then he can't decide to seek refuge. I'm not like one of you guys. I really want to see those questions being asked to give Musa Dean. You see what Senator Prince Johnson did today? Today the conference and those questions, the question he had for him, he brought by that question into picture. And I think he wants Musa Dean to answer this question. And I think this is how we can make informed decision. Let's understand, let's make into, we want to know how all of these things that happens on his watch.
Yeah, we just see the different.
That's what we're saying, Mr.
So
we are seeing that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I want them to call for that confirmation, and based on what he want to say, then they can be able to make an informed decision.
Yeah, but the medical,
well, if you guys want to relitigate this, I'm going to have to excuse myself.
Yeah, go.
Bye-bye.
The ghost is waiting for you.
Tomorrow Saturday. Already finished slaughtering it. We know.
Yeah, it got intestine balling now.
On the day of judgment day, you and the ghost will have some stuff. Okay, I don't know, man. It's so I don't know that what was some what call it? Man, you to the hell of a man.
You're a hanging man.
It's not gonna man.
The man.
I'm gonna be very careful because I see a lot of distractions coming into there, and then everything will just be that kind of because. Look, and I was talking to someone today. 1,600 high-profile directors, assistant ministers, commissioners, they were never appointed in government. 2016. Top position.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
So
2000. I'm
yeah.
talking about deputy managing director, assistant minister, commissioner, this and that. I mean, I'm not talking about the Flagaye people. Those were the positions that this guy he didn't touch. I don't know why.
What?
I say I just don't know why it went that way.
You know why, Mr. So you know what happened?
Wow.
First thing, they never had it.
Kerry Chung, the minister, it's just unbelievable. I don't know why.
But there are two reasons. One, they didn't have the people. Two, they wanted money for the position. So since no position will not occupy Mr. So, the money.
But there's no time we're coming to
So how they ran the government, Mr. So how they ran the government?
No, a lot of the vacuum, but that's why you see,
the
harmonization. This is where that harmonization was a complete fraud, because the purpose, the main objective, other countries did those harmonizations, and part of that was to downsize government based on Terry, the same job Terry doing, Amos George is doing it, Alfonso is doing it, just similar, but they just give them different nomenclature and all of that. That's why the Rwanda and all of these other countries that succeeded with their harmonization, they look at it and say, no, it doesn't make sense. All of these things, they are similarity, they're doing the same work. But they did their own harmonizations in a different form, in a different way from any other harmonization on planet Earth. And still, it didn't just produce the result. For you to have over 2,000 high-profile ministers, commissioners, and all of that were still occupied, and you have people within your very own party that never had jobs. Some of them were qualified.
Then where the budget for the ministries are going?
Well, the money that what the guy was using.
Wow. And they never even have good
if you
I'm not talking about funny other assistant to assistant, you know, some is that get about 4 or 5 assistants.
Then they didn't even have good media presenter. They ain't get no good PR. They get
I think United Party will be they will get a power board. They will go and put people in those places. But then he didn't get do a party good, because some of those other people that left out, they're disenchanted ones. Some of them have the credentials to occupy those positions, and I agree, because one of the person who was a problem in the whole thing and she did all of this whole thing here was Nathaniel Magay, because in order to get a high profile position, your photo has to go through Nathaniel Magay. When you don't look at it, when you're not come to a good terms and stuff like that, you go on the sink.
Wow.
For you to have those sort of positions?
Yes. No, but moderator, you should also remember the harmonization, I think to some extent it was a little bit weak, but it was probably extended to civil senate. You see, those 2,500 people, trust me, if they are incorporated, then they were going to blow the payroll out. They were going to blow the payroll. I mean, they were going to rather do something to the payroll. So I think it was a strategic decision I made to.
But now they're increasing the size of government now, and that's a danger. I think that's what the problem.
They are putting low-grade people in, and when Joseph Waka comes, he may want to fill those positions, and that is going to blow the payroll out of proportion. So that's a trap.
No, but but payroll, there's you're going to go back to the data too. So you can't hire somebody today. It will be reflected that it has to be incorporated into the system. How long, when this person, there will be a detailed records of those.
But they can backdate it, Mr. So they can backdate it.
Terry, you stop this here. They can back. Look, there are certain things you cannot backdate the site in the computer. So many systems you backdate those CA.
They don't have time to do that. Terry, it's not as easy.
It's not easy, Terry.
Anyway, I will agree with you, because CDC is not as sophisticated to.
No, not that, but besides that,
there are so many processes that thing got to go through.
You know,
why just the Ministry of Finance?
You don't just get. They don't just get and throw you on the payroll.
No, those processes you're talking about is true. There are processes in HR. This government here respect no process. This government just roll.
Please,
That's why I'm trying to tell them.
can you get your next flight and reach home, please?
Yeah.
Can you get your next flight and reach home, please, and leave New York?
Terry,
Get your next flight to reach home, leave New
when
York.
you do this thing, Terry, it's not just the Minister of Finance. You got Social Security, you got a civil servant. Those things go through channels.
I missed my flight, so I waited.
It's not
And
one or two person.
that's a lot of human beings, yeah.
Yeah, it's not one or two person you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I agree with you, Pajo.
It's
That's
not
a
one or
lot
two
of
person.
people.
It's not one or two person putting in. So,
It's tough.
but I continue to say, if people do anything when Joseph Barker come in, I want to say, this thing, you need no Bible. You need no Bible. You say 2 months
don't need
or
to
3
pray.
months, anybody that were employed within the last 2 months, zero.
No, well, no. You see, that's how the way you can tell your own thing. They will have to find out how those people get in the system.
That one seems also.
If they do it and if they do it and just do it, you never know. Technology has advanced. If they were done,
So that one
and you
thing,
can't just throw people out.
No.
That's what Prince Johnson was saying, and that is that because I talked to somebody the other day. We had a conversation, right? There's a lady from University of Liberia, defended campus, right? Who said they were doing banking people and all of that. So that's something they got to take down to, because you don't want to start your government with the yobo and all of that kind of thing, because you never know. So I mean, it's a dedicated thing.
According to Samuel Tuwe, that's why the loading offer. Samuel Tuwe, that's why the loading offer. That's what they plan to do to give the incoming government a whole lot of headache. That's Samuel Tuwe all strategies. But you know, it's quite interesting, Mr. So. To these people who are saying, Samson told Lana, what you call here in Collins, one person talking some tapata there say John Molu is arrogant, he's this and that.
That Keto, that your man.
But
then he did one person.
Today, Dr. Yenswa, is it Yenswa? No, the guy from the who are the National Health Center.
Toba Yenswa?
Toba. He was saying something. I listened to the interview, Mr. So somehow he said that President Weah, when he took over, President Weah went and put spending cap at $5,000, that nobody should take money from the bank. And Samuel 12 was the one who was giving that instruction. So now, when John will turn around and say,
the whole thing here.
Yeah, when John will turn around and say that we should send letter to the institution, then people say he won't be policeman. But look at what Samuel did the same thing.
Okay, guys.
To the federal government.
Thank you so much.
So I mean,
yeah, man.
So you not get on a letter, my man?
So don't worry. When I get a letter, I will show it.
You know how many times he said, "Don't worry, then go get drip."
I don't want Joe in. Ambassador Buck, I ain't got money to pay me, man.
No, but you'll be a religious advisor.
I don't want to go steal. Yeah, that my
the work Nimla was doing, you can be the religious advisor. Nimla, religious advisor to the president.
I'm going like bro, somebody go put B, make my full B. I ain't want
to. You can stay here and fast and pray.
Terry, let me tell you something.
I'm just kidding.
You're good. But,
you know, you're too scared.
But you're not scared.
Everything also want to do, they want to
I know that country.
You left me when the bro went to. You left me when the bro went to. When they found out he sat down there, nobody saw you in Moria. You were talking about somebody here.
But that's what you're talking about.
Man, why we know how he came back.
No, but Mr. So, if I was scared,
I was carrying overnight.
Listen, Terry.
He came by.
If I was scared, I would have left Morovia. I would have left Morovia if I was scared.
So you went to your own town?
You know, the country had with the pound something had a white boy here. Yes, no shower in puppet.
You was scared because
I
of
went
you
to
got
the, I went, listen, I stopped in Total Time because I got some extended relative. I stopped in Total Time. In the evening, I went to the village. I slept there for nights. Well, look, I would tell people.
How many chicken they kill?
But you know the poor tradition, so you know what to do before you go. So that one not anything.
How
But
many,
for me,
how many chicken they kill for you?
No, they didn't kill no chicken. My man and my partner live who get chicken for me now.
Ah, all right.
My man
but you
and my
come for
partner
America,
live.
they put in chicken for you, Pajo.
You want to tell me you?
No.
The
So,
country chicken, they kill it for you.
so no, there's someone. No, so they gave me chicken. They give me chicken to bring.
You're good
Chicken
now.
to bring.
Man,
Yeah,
you
good.
start confessing
No,
now. All
and
right,
I
bye-bye.
say, but I left Moreover. I left Total Time in the night. I got in Moreover, I think around 8 o'clock.
Why you decide to leave your time in the night?
Then I'm at home. Like brother, my country.
Who you afraid of? Yeah, so why would you want to
But
travel
if I'm
that
afraid, I will not travel because in the night is the more dangerous time to travel.
But by George,
Yeah.
as a runner ever who is respected by the population of the village, traveling at night raise serious suspicion.
My man,
No, not suspicion because I told the people know. I told them when I want to leave. They said, okay.
We're glad to have you back. All right.
When I was coming home, the guys, six men follow me and said, let's walk you. We didn't take guys, I can't ride motorboard.
Man, scared. Okay, Amos George, thank you so much for your time. John Malice, good to have you back. Welcome. And
I can't ride motorboard, Mali. I can't ride motorboard.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah. Okay, folks, that's how we're going to conclude the night. I want to thank you so much. If this is your first time, we say to you wholeheartedly welcome. You can follow like our page. You can send your comments, your tweet, your suggestion as to how we can enhance our conversation. Well, we don't say it normally in your way, the way you want it to be, but we tell you, but you have the right to disagree with us. And I think in the interest of fairness, let him call him. It would be an interesting scenario to hear him, to ask those questions, so we can't just be judgmental and assume. I don't like to live in the world of assumption. Let them call him. Let he tell us what was his role. If those cases, some of those things we are talking about, if they were concluded, he will tell us. And then ultimately they can decide. But to say, well, the idea people say it's not a timely faction, I don't believe in that. He is the president, he's still the sitting president. If there was anything, God forbid, right now, he is the commander-in-chief. They will just provide briefing to the president-elect. So the security is on his watch until that day after the inauguration. Then, of course, he no longer has a gavel to make national decision on behalf of the country. But it would be interesting when they call Councillor Frank Musa Dane and asking all of those tough questions and for us to know who he is, what was his role, what was his decision making, and how he went about to prosecute or not to prosecute some of these things that we are talking about. Until then, folks, thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. We'll see you when we shall see you. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
I just want to thank you.